Hello, everyone. I am so excited today. I have got Shannon Walbran with me, and she is an absolute idol of mine. I really love her, and I have been following her for such a long time. She's a physic, intuitive life coach who runs online support groups where you receive daily answers to your toughest personal and professional questions while learning how to download divine guidance for yourself. Welcome, Shannon.
Thank you so much. I mean, some people shy away from the idea of psychic divination, guidance, and those kinds of things. But I believe that, Elif, you're actually open to it. Do you find yourself open to receiving messages or using your intuition? I mean, think about your story about what happened 15 years ago. How did you know that you could make that transition? How did you know that you could become a fashion designer? Belief in yourself, but then didn't you get some signs, some guidance?
I always let me tell it this way. I actually always follow my intuition, and the moments that I don't, I always fail. If I say I knew it, I should have just believed in myself, and now I allow my intuition to guide me, and I've made better decisions than ever. And every decision I made with my intuition, with my feelings, and what we call it gut feelings, I seem to got to where I am today. Yeah, I suppose I
Well,
do.
you're doing really well. And that's what I'd like to talk to you about today is using your own psychic intuition, inner guidance, your inner wisdom, and learning how to amplify it. Because, I mean, we're both successful women who live in a modern world. And in the modern world, there are a lot of how-tos and you should do this and you should do that. But that doesn't always lead you to create the future that you want to create, the future that you have created for yourself.
Yeah, that's true. I find it quite tough at times. Some of the things I am doing is because I've got to do it in order to maintain and sustain my business. But there are things I wish I could just do because I love doing it. And I always have that fear of, will it be successful? Will it be giving me enough financial income to make myself free? And the financial, I think I always see that women search for financial freedom and an emotional freedom in a way, so they can feel whatever they want. So I definitely found both, but I always feel something isn't still quite right.
It's really tough when we have our intuition telling us to do one thing or to take one step. And it's an easy thing like what I should eat or that I should exercise or that I should meditate. I mean, those are things that are not very high stakes. But when it comes to money and things that count, you know, that we're going to have to pay the bills, we're going to have to pay rent on that shop, we're going to have to buy this big amount of fabric or something like that, then we start to question our intuition. So I usually tell people that there are 4 C's, like the letter C, when we're working with our intuition. And the steps are clarity, confidence, courage, and cultivation. So the first one is clarity. We need to get clear about what we want, and we need to get clear about whether it's our ego saying, I need to be on the cover of a magazine, or whether it's our ego, or whether it's our intuition saying, you know, it would be good if I were on the cover of a magazine because then I could get my message out. So yeah, that would be best. I would have the most impact. So clarity helps us decide and discern what to do next.
Uh-huh.
Confidence is having the faith to do it. So from the Latin, confidence means with faith, con fides. When we walk forward with faith, with belief that we have clarity, now we have confidence, then we take the courage to take the action. And I think the faster we take the action, when we get the messages, the faster we make that telephone call, the quicker we walk into that place and ask for directions. You know, we talk to that guy, we make that meeting happen. That's when things really roll. And then cultivation is like when you're a farmer and you're growing things, you're planting them, you're watering them, you're pruning them, you're harvesting them. It's keeping it going, keeping a daily practice. My daily practice is asking a question every day, getting an answer every day, and then taking action, taking action. And that's what I help people do in my coaching groups. And then I ask questions and get answers for myself. So I'm always being the guinea pig also.
That's brilliant. I can be your guinea pig today.
Would you like to be my guinea pig today? Okay, so how we get clarity, especially when we're intellectual people like ourselves, we need to get out of our own heads. Our heads are fantastic for imagining and daydreaming multiple possibilities, but we also have a lot of, and I'm sure you do, worry, concern. Our imagination can equally say what could go wrong as what could go right. So when we get a message that's outside of ourselves, then we can say, aha, see, this is proof. So I use cards. Now, you are originally from Turkey, right? Did you ever read coffee? I believe that's a
Yes.
cultural technique.
Yeah. We do. We do Turkish coffee reading, a lot of them. And I remember I used to do coffee readings, and some of my friends must be listening now and going, "Yeah, she's done it for me before." And I would just say, "I can see in 3 weeks' time, you're going to have a phone call about a little money coming into your household. It's not a lot of money." But you are receiving, and then they would receive money in 3 weeks' time, and they'd go, "Elif, you were right."
Elif, I
But
believe you are gifted. I believe you are gifted. When you looked at the coffee you look at the coffee grounds at the bottom of the cup,
that's right.
and you could see that there were like 3 streaks, or you could see 3 pockets, or, it meant something to you, didn't it?
So I mean, I can just tell you, I used to see like the three, it's like lines coming down to me. They were like time frames. And if they were a certain way, they're like week or month and year. And I used to just get them to press their fingers and tell me that. I would say, just think of a number between 1 and 10, but don't tell me, and I'll tell you what that is. And I'd always guess it. But I've given up doing all that. I don't know why.
I'm going to bring you back to doing that, because it is a way for you to get worries out of your head, and it's a way for you to make good, solid, intuition-led decisions. So, okay,
Amazing. Well, I would love to.
Sure, I designed a
Tell
deck
me.
of cards. I pull angel cards. There are many
Okay.
different kinds of cards in the world. Some are called tarot cards, and those have a certain
Yeah.
symbolism that have been, established for hundreds of years. And I found them
Yeah.
difficult to read. I started to read it, and I felt like this is not for me. This is not a language that I'm going to learn to speak. I speak Spanish, I speak Portuguese, I've lived in different countries around the world. And tarot was just a language that I said, nope. But I needed a new language. So I designed a deck of angel cards, oracle cards.
They're
I'll
your
show
own
you.
designs, yeah?
Yeah, I'll show you now, that are based on street signs. They're based on real street signs that you would see on the street in the city. This is a red
Oh,
light. It's a little man. It's a little red man, like at the
don't walk.
corner.
Be still
Right.
and
And
you'll be
this one
safe.
says, don't walk. And so, or this one says luck, and it's a coin that you would pick up on the ground.
Good fortune is in front of you. Pick it up.
Right.
Don't ignore it. I
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
right. And this one is a work sign, just like you'd see on the road. And it says time to get to work. No more time for holidays.
Now is the moment to put in the effort. I love it.
Yes, ma'am, you got it. So I read these cards, and I made a free set of these on YouTube that you can use for free. They roll past you like this, and then you take a screenshot, and then that can be your answer. But I also printed them, so they're available on Amazon, obviously.
Amazing.
But let's read a card
Amazing.
for you on a specific question, shall we?
Let's do that. So
Okay,
do you
so
want
I'm
me to
gonna
ask a
knock.
question?
Yes, how, and I'll tell you in a second, but let's knock 3 times for you. Now it's Elif. Okay, now it's you talking. The kind of question that you're going to ask is positive, present, and proactive, and precise. I actually ask for 4 P's. I have a book. This is my freebie for your interview. It's this book of 100 questions.
Yes.
So these are 100 sample questions. You could ask, here's a chapter about identity. So you could ask about your identity. These are a lot of
Okay.
different questions. But you could ask
Okay.
about your work. Let's ask a real work question. Let's ask, should I order that huge bundle of wool or whatever? Let's ask a real question that you actually care about.
Okay, so should I go all in with my collection to the new company I've just signed up for selling online?
See, it's already a yes. So what I'm hearing from your guides and angels is that you've already decided that. That's already a yes. You're already all
Okay.
in and it's already good and you're not going to back out of it. It's like you're full on. But let's take a detail of that project. Let's take one detail. And you could say, would it be better if I went for red or blue? You know what I mean? Like take one aspect of it. Or
Okay.
should I put more emphasis on the skirts? You're still you're all in on the project. That's a yes already.
Okay, I've got two
That's not a
manufacturers.
question. They're going, no, she's in already. But let's take one small detail.
Okay, so I've got two manufacturers, and I've got to pick in between two. So which one?
That's good. Okay, so I'm sure you don't want to reveal online who they are. So we're going to call them A and B, right?
Okay.
But and we're going to pull two cards, and then we're going to see whether card A is very positive, like go, and then we'll see if card B says no.
Okay.
Right. But I need you to write it down on a piece of paper for yourself, because it's very easy to change your mind after you see the cards.
Okay.
So could you please write down A equals that company over there, and B equals that company over there.
Okay, my pen doesn't want to work.
That's okay. And how I'm going to do it is I'm shuffling the cards on my side.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to tilt the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm spreading the cards across the table. Some people, Elif, just take a bunch of cards and they say, okay, I'm ready. And they pull the card out of the deck like this. But it's a little bit hasty, and it's a little bit, maybe you could say, impolite. So what we want to do is give the cards a chance. I'll show you how I do it. Can you see my desk, my actual desk, my wooden desk? Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Here are the cards. Now we're going to pull a card for company A. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Is company A a good company to work with? Now I'm going to spread the cards across the table, and I'm going to see where the deck breaks. The deck breaks here. This is the card that we're going to read. Do you see how it popped out?
Yeah.
This is the one.
Yeah. Okay.
Company A, the answer is path. And if you read, can you read the words carefully? This is the path. Go ahead.
You are on the right path. Walk forward, keep going. This path will take you far. Don't change course now. Oh, okay.
So that's company A. We're going to pull again for company B. And it is possible that you could get 2 yeses, all right?
Okay.
So we'll see. Bringing the camera down again. Here's company B.
This is amazing.
This is the card. Can you see that?
Where it breaks.
It broke. So this is the space, but this is the one that's left behind. So it's this one. Ah, you're going to know right away. It's a yellow light.
Please reflect, wait and see, check things out, don't rush through. That's exactly how I'm feeling about it as well.
So you could see that A was much stronger than B.
Yes.
A was a definite, go ahead, everything's going to be good. And this is, are you sure?
Don't rush.
Pause. Take another look.
I love that, because I have been feeling exactly the same. And I even spoke to my partner, my husband. I said to him, it's all good and everything is fine, but I feel I need to hold on to it for a little while. And now this is literally confirmed my feeling. Thank you.
So what did you do? You're a smart woman. You already know a lot of facts. You've researched the companies. You're just deciding between these two. But you needed an external word, something to confirm what you already were wondering about.
I feel so clear.
Right. So clarity is the first C. And that's what people often say when they just have a one-on-one session with me. The burden is off of my shoulders. I feel so clear. Now,
Yeah,
the next one would be confidence, which is what your interviews are about. Do you
yes,
have the confidence to make that decision, to let go of company B and to go with company A? Do you have that confidence?
absolutely. Honestly, like you said, now I have seen it in front of me physically with the help and guidance of yours. I definitely am going to hold on.
And then the courage would be to make the phone call, and to say, thank you very much. I'll keep you in mind for future. Or if we have too much work, I'll call you again. But I've decided to go with somebody else.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank
And
you.
then cultivation is checking to make sure, a month from now, 6 months from now, things can change.
Absolutely. It's just like I have been having these internal conversations constantly going, maybe I should hold on to it, maybe I should wait a little longer, I shouldn't rush it because I'm investing a lot of money into this collection, I'm investing a lot of money into this business. It's really good that having something like this, I
Absolutely. So you can have these in your own hand. You can pull these and ask questions because you know what traffic signs mean. You know what that means.
dead end. I
Yeah,
love.
you can't go
You know
there.
what I love about all these cars? I'm definitely going to order a set of them now.
You can.
I will put the link to these on your Amazon account,
Sure.
actually.
It's US Amazon. Unfortunately, I know that it hasn't been stocked in UK. You can get it, but they'll charge you for shipping. Ah,
Yeah. It's
okay.
okay. I think it's worth every penny, if, especially if it's going to guide you and give you the clarity. How many of us end up spending thousands of pounds and time and effort and energy to get clarity on things? And this is really, it's just,
Luckily, you knew what to ask, right? Because you knew which question was burning for you. But that's why this book is free, because some people start off and they call me and they say, help, wah, I'm at a crossroads, ah, and they don't even know where to start. So I've been working on radio for many years, and people would phone in with radio questions. And when they asked a really good question, like, I'm having an argument with my sister, should I make the first move? It's a very clear question. And then you'll get red light, green light, do not enter. Then you'll know.
yeah, this is so good. I love that how you really, how could someone actually end up listening to themselves? Because my son is only 4 year old, and I always say he's very intuitive. I ask his advice when I make decisions, and he is so good, and he just doesn't answer like a little 4 year old and just to answer. He thinks about it and feels my question and then gives me an answer, and he seems to get it right each time. But some people seem to have found it, or they naturally have it. But I want to ask, do you think everybody has this kind of power?
Yes, everybody has their own intuition for themselves. And what we need to do is amplify it, make it loud and clear, and use a language that the intuition speaks that I can understand. So you're multilingual. You speak more than one language. You know what it's like to live in translation. You know what it's like when you're like, I can't understand what they're talking about. I
Yeah.
don't get it. We're not speaking the same language. But when you find a language that you two have in common, then you can understand each other. So the spirit, the soul inside of us, does not speak in English, da 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 da.
The
No, it
words.
speaks
Yeah.
with symbolism, and it speaks short, in a short, like it says, do it, or it says, go, it says, run. You told that you're talking about your kid. I was with my child who's now 12. It was a year ago, and we were in the country, and he was standing on the other side of the garage. We were playing basketball outside, and I was over there, and we heard a sound like a helicopter, which was very strange because we were in a very rural country area. And I looked the wrong way, actually. I looked over there looking for the helicopter, and he looked over there looking for the helicopter, and he saw what it was, and he turned to me and he said, run. And we ran into the house. And I didn't say, why should I run, darling? What is it? Tell me about what you see. I didn't. I listened to him, I believed him, and we ran into the house. We slammed the door. And then I said, what was it? And he said, it was a huge swarm of bees, bigger than a bus. And it was moving through the air. And, it was probably moving from one hive to another hive. It was finding a new home. But we didn't really want to get in the way of that, did we?
You just listen to him. So
Oh, sure.
we've got to listen to our intuition in the same speed.
The intuition speaks in the same way. The intuition doesn't say, so let us tell you a long story. It just says do or don't do.
I often find myself talk myself out of something that I decide to do it. So I'm sure so many of the ladies who's listening right now do the same thing. Like I have been writing my book about my life and I have been here and I keep putting it off and thinking nobody wants to hear my story. That's what I keep
Do you
telling
think
myself.
that's actually true? So you might need, in that case, you might need some coaching, you might need some affirmations, you might need some confidence building. But what I think you really need is an invitation. I think you need someone who you consider powerful or someone that you admire to say, Elif, I've heard that you're writing a book. I can't wait to read it. I hope you tell some stories about how you, and then they say something to you and you're like, I'll do it for her. I'll do it because she needs it. So if you could put that out in your newsletter, if you could say, yeah, you all, I'm wobbling about my book. Please send me a little note that you would read it. Not that you need to buy it, right? It's not like you're trying to get sales. It's that like, please tell me what you'd like to hear me talk about. What you need, Elif, is you need to have that feeling of welcome, of we want you, you're invited.
I just I have been always writing and thinking about it, and I have got so many parts already
Sure.
done. But like you say, I definitely need a coach
You could
and an
get a coach, but
invitation.
what you have an audience already. So what you really need is to feel like people are anticipating it.
I've decided to complete it last year around this time, and I said I'm going to be an author of my own book. I have written most part of it, and it's just something is holding me back constantly.
Sure. It's okay. You're also really busy. I wrote a book called Guided. It's available on Audible, so you can listen to the audiobook version of it.
Have you voiced it? Is it your own
That's the
voice?
thing. I voiced it and I spoke so fast that people said, I really need to turn down the speed when I listen to you talking. But I did a spiritual autobiography. But Elif, when I wrote it? In 2007. What year is it?
Wow.
I've done so much since then. So it's really time for me to write a new one.
Rewrite,
Yeah, another
rewriting,
edition.
upgraded version of it, updated
Mm.
version of it. That would be brilliant.
So much has happened, so much.
It's
So
okay.
I would love for you to practice with cards, and I would love for you to externalize your messages and then to take them into your heart and to stop talking yourself out of them.
Why do you think we do that?
I've
I'm
done
not
it
the
too.
only woman who do that. I know
Oh
so many
goodness.
women do that.
Okay, here's a story from my life, which is so I had just written this book, and yes, it's on Audible, but at the time I had a paper copy of it, of my life story. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So I walk into an art gallery and I see this very good looking man, and he's in the art gallery like this. And I walked around and I looked at the paintings, and he came up and said, would you like to hear the stories of the paintings? And I said, oh, yes, I really would. So then he took me on a tour of the gallery and he's telling me about the paintings. And I reached my hand into my pocket. He was the artist and he was telling me about his paintings. I reached my hand into my bag and I touched my book, and I wanted to bring out my book and to say, I made this, like I just got this in the post. I'm really proud of it. And I felt my arm do, no, don't do that. Don't, because it was his moment. He was showing his paintings, and it would have come across as me competing with him rather than me listening to him. And so what did I do, Elif? You tell me.
You kept the book in the bag.
No, I overrode my intuition. I pulled the book out of my bag and I said, I'm also creative. I just wrote this book. Look. Okay. And then he went, oh, that's so nice.
And that was it.
Oh, that's so nice, he said. Do you think he said, can I read it? Or, oh, let me look at your book? No. he did not.
It was his
So
moment.
it was his moment. And I was like trying to, yeah, it was just a bad dynamic. But my ego was getting in the way there.
True. I mean, I've had a boutique, a retail store for
Sure.
9 years, and for the last 2 years, I have been, thinking about closing and going truly like totally online. Should I or should I not? And one of the biggest reasons I kept hold of it because of my ego. I did not want to let it go because to me that was failing, even though it isn't failure, even though my brand is going in a different direction and I needed my attention and time to be invested in different part of my life. But my ego kept me in there another year and a half.
But you can see why it did, because it was your goal. And because you had worked so hard for so many years to get to that goal. So then you thought, okay, this goal is it. Now, like, I'm done. So I have to hold on to that forever. It's like staying in a marriage when the marriage isn't working, but you had really worked on the marriage and you had hoped to be married for a long time. And then the marriage doesn't work. Or you move to a country and you had worked to get the visa, to get all the paperwork. And then you move to the country and then you're like, oh, okay, well, it's good and bad. It's mixed. All of those things. Once you accomplish it, there's a mistaken belief that you have to hold on to that forever. But no.
I think it must be because it's the familiarity of it that if because if I let it go, this is familiar, even though it doesn't satisfy me, even though it's not exactly how I want to live, but it's familiar, so therefore it's good. That's
You're
how I
right.
felt. So I just kept hold on to it, and I thought one day I decided to have a little weekend away by myself with no disruption, just me and my own intuition. And I meditated and I decided it was time to let it go.
It's also in economic theory, it's called the sunk cost fallacy. Have you heard about that?
No.
So if I pay for something and I've sunk a lot of cost into it, then I believe that it is valuable because I paid for it.
Yeah.
Let's say that you buy an iPhone and you paid a lot of money for it and it's a beautiful iPhone, and then it doesn't work. You're mad because you paid a lot of money for it and
Yeah.
it's unrepairable. Let's say that it's smashed. It's like you can't get it, you
Yeah.
can't get it to work. You still hold on to it and you don't put it in the rubbish because you paid a lot of
Because
money
you
for
paid
it.
a lot of money. That's exactly how I felt because I paid a lot of time. Not so much money. Money never comes
Time.
for me first. For me, it was my effort, my love,
Sure.
my input into community and being there and just building that space from just the four walls, from four walls to a room where anyone could just walk in and feel validated, feel empowered. And it was my almost like my sanctuary for women to come and not just dress, but actually talk and just air everything they had in their hand. It was like a psychology release room. So it was like very emotional day for me, but I felt liberated once I left.
Absolutely. And what you've done, I will hope you can see, is that you've uplifted and you've upgraded because you've taken that space from a physical, as you say, four wall space, and you've made it a global space.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I still pinch myself to go. I am in a Zoom room talking to incredible women I absolutely admire, and like I've been following you over a year now, and I thought, just like you said, I had the moment, I had a thought, I received yet another one of your amazing newsletters, ladies. If you haven't signed up to Shannon's email newsletters, do it because you will
If you
be.
get the book, then you're already automatically put onto the newsletter list. So that's a win-win. Thank you
Yes.
for
Oh,
saying so, Elif. I'm glad you like my stories.
I love them. And that day, I thought, I'm just going to email her. If she's free, if it's meant to be, it's going to. And there we are. We are having this amazing conversation. And I've got my answer that I shouldn't go with the company beef for now.
Well, that's what I would love for you to continue doing, is getting those answers and helping yourself make clear decisions and then following through on them. Because this is what I would like to say. You and I are smart people, we're successful people, and we're making impacts in the world. we build up a body of evidence that we can trust in ourselves. So let's say that you go with company A, right? And it gets better and better and better. You're like, oh, that was right. When I listened to my intuition, it worked. Now
Yeah.
I'll ask again. And then you take quick action on your child's school, or a new plan or a new community that you're going to create, and you take action and it works. You say, okay, I'm building up a body of evidence. I can trust myself. I really can. Then the next decision, even if it's a harder one, even if it's more difficult, you'll be readier to believe your answers.
That's so true.
Proof.
Because
We
once you
need we
trust
need proof. We're
whoever,
smart. We need proof.
yeah, true, yeah, true. And once I trust to myself or to anybody, even the people I work with, the friend, I feel confident. Absolutely, like fully confident. So that trust, once I trust myself, that opens all the doors. I love it. I
Should
could,
we ask another question for you?
shall we?
Yes,
Okay.
let's.
Okay. Oh, what shall I ask?
Yeah, try to make it. I know you would love to cover something, big, but it's actually better to take it some step that I can take today. So something that I could get done immediately. Because if you ask, should I move to Japan in 25 years? So many things can change between now and then. I can change, Japan can change. I
Okay.
could meet new people, I could make new decisions. I could ask, should I start learning Japanese today? Then I could get an app, I could start learning Japanese. Okay, that would be good. But what would you like to ask that you could do, today?
Today, okay. I mean, we're in Turkey, as you know, my husband and my son as a family, and we are kind of just contemplating if we should go back to the UK in the next couple of weeks, or should we just stay till as we plan till end of August?
Okay. And have you already, we need to look at some facts. Have you already booked tickets? Would it mean canceling tickets? Would it
No,
mean,
we had already booked our tickets for 21st of August initially, but now we're kind of thinking, should we just change it and go back?
okay, so you
Or
haven't booked a ticket for June
no,
yet. Okay,
no.
got it.
The original ticket was booked for the 21st of August, but now we're thinking, should we cancel it, like change the date and go in 2 weeks or leave it?
I understand. So when I mentioned the 4 Ps, what kind of questions we should ask? We need to ask a personal question. Yours is a little bit bigger than personal because it's not a
Okay.
decision that, no, we can still do it, but it's a we decision rather than an I
Uh-huh.
decision. We need to take that into account. It needs to be proactive. So should I? You're good on that one. It needs to be phrased in the positive. So should I cancel is kind of on the negative side. We're going to ask it like this. Should we stay? Should we stay? Should we keep staying? Do you see how that feels
Yeah,
different?
okay. So should we stay in Turkey for another 6 weeks?
Right, right. Should we keep our original tickets? Should we stay in Turkey? Some
Suppose
people try to ask me, should I break up with the guy or should I not break up with the guy? Should I not take that job? And I'm like, too many nots.
too many
It just,
knots.
it's
Yeah.
then when you get an answer and it says red light, then you're going to say like, is that a red light to do or don't do? Like
Okay.
Yoda. Remember Yoda from Star Wars? There is do or not do. There is no try.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to ask it in the positive. And if it's confusing, we can ask the opposite question
Okay.
also. But we're going to do, should we stay?
Stay. Camera
Should we
going down.
should we
Cards
keep
again.
our yeah, and I'm putting my hand on the cards and then I'm spreading them across the table. It took me a little while to get to the card break.
Okay.
Here's the card break. That is interesting. Should we
Oh,
stay? This isn't an obvious answer, but we're going to read it.
arrow.
Let me hold it still.
Arrow. Look closely. One door is closed, but another one is opening. Take the chance. Act now. Oh, so I better go back. That's what I
Yeah.
read that as.
Yeah, I'm following your lead on that intuition. I think so too. But It's a bit
Because
of
I
a
closed my shop only two weeks ago. It was the closed door for me.
right. Look closely. One door is closed, but another one is opening. See, I, I'm going to follow up on this though. The door of the UK shop is closed, but other doors are opening for you in
Yeah.
Istanbul. So take the chance, act now. It could be take the chance, act now, and establish yourself deeply in Istanbul. And don't go back to the things that are closed. Don't go back to the closed shop. Do you see
Okay.
how this one is a little bit harder to interpret? Let's ask the opposite question.
Okay.
Now the first one was, should I stay? Should I stay through August? Now we're going to say, should I jump? Should I go? Should I jump on the plane and go to the UK now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it'll
Oh, this
illuminate.
is so exciting, ladies. You've got to get this card. I'm going to order it now.
Here we go.
This was quicker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a pothole. Should I go?
A sudden problem will soon be over if you decrease your speed, roll over it slowly, and keep your eyes on the bigger goal ahead. Ooh.
So it's a pothole that your car's just going through the pothole, but then you're going smoothly forward. Do you know why we're getting unclear answers on these cards? It's because it's your husband. It's because you can't make this decision all by yourself. It's
Yeah.
not an I question.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I can't go by myself. He doesn't have to come with me.
But that's not what we were really asking. We were asking,
No.
should
Yeah,
we?
because he wants to come. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to leave me alone. But I think you're right. He's not quite sure if he should go.
Right. So, yes, I think you
Should
too.
I go and leave them here?
You need to have more conversations before we can
Yeah.
ask for clarity. Can you see that the cards were trying to help you,
Help me. But
but
I kind of got my answer because it is true. What I understood from the card, from my situation, is that I have made a decision and closed that door, and this door is open with me signing up with one of the biggest online retail company to sell my clothes, which we ask which company I should manufacture my collections,
terrific.
starting in 2 weeks time. And the reason we're deciding to go really was, should I be there on the launch in case of any needs of support for warehouse deliveries, or should we just stay till? So this is really giving me an answer. Oh my god, I'm
Excellent.
excited.
See how your intuition is coming because you're able to think laterally. Yeah, I mean, you know the background of all of these
Yeah,
issues, and I don't. So I'm the innocent party here, just amplifying your own intuition and reflecting it back to
this
you.
is
But
so
then you're able to make sense, just like you made sense of the coffee in the cup for your friend. So you can say, I see this is blocked. I see this is open.
this is the time for me to take and follow and just do it. I'm excited now.
So I would advise you to start keeping track of your answers in a dated planner or journal. So some book, it can be your diary, it can be your planner, whatever you have, write it down and date it so that you can start seeing the pattern of how long it takes your answers to come to bloom.
Okay, brilliant. Oh my God, this is so good. Thank you so much, Shannon. I could talk to you for hours.
It's
I'm
been a
good.
thrill to meet you because really one of my dreams when I was a child was to be a designer of furniture, houses, and clothes. And every time I have spare time or I'm in a bookshop or I'm scrolling through YouTube, those are the kinds of things I read about and videos I watch. It's
It's
all
never
about
too late. We can do it still.
yes, intuitively designed clothing for you.
Yeah, why not? That's anything is possible. That would be, I'd be honored to guide you through that process.
It would
I'm
be
going to ask you
stunning.
last question before I let you go, to help all our listeners to find that. I know we've talked about these and having clarity and confidence, courage, and cultivate, was it?
Yes, to grow it, to grow
To
it.
grow, but how, because this is confidence leads to success, and I truly believe that once you have confidence, you can just do it, even if it means sometimes to fake it till you make it. What would be your definition of confidence?
I would say you are guided, you are led forward. What you're dreaming for is valid. So you're being led to have these dreams and imagine these outcomes, and they can come true. They can exist maybe in a slightly different format or in a different sequence. You don't have to have everything all at once. You can have everything like pearls on a necklace, string on a string, thing by thing as you go forward in life. I think confidence is knowing that inside what's truly meant for you will find you and you'll find it.
Love it. Thank you so much, Shannon. You are amazing.
Elif, it's been a super pleasure to work with you because you're so open-minded. I love the people that you're talking to. I love the diversity and the global reach that you have. I'm thrilled to be connected to you. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you. I truly am on a mission to really give women that confidence, that level of confidence that they can just go out there and just have their financial freedom and freedom of their voice, because there's nothing worse than not being able to speak our truth and be who we truly are in anything we do, in our marriages, in our businesses, in our family life. And feeling trapped in whatever we're doing is just the worst thing, and I don't want any woman to go through. So if I can just change anyone's life by sharing stories of us, I will have done something amazing.
And you already have.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Bye-bye.
Bye everyone. I will see you on the next episode.